Hey guys and gals, in today's episode, Mike and I are back and we are discussing family issues to politics to whatever shit comes to mind. So sit back, get your strap on, wait what, and let's fucking go. Hey, good morning, fuckers, and welcome to another day of the DailyBM. Just 8 months later. We haven't had a show since October of 2025. Michael, what's up?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having us back. We appreciate the people that sent us $11 to ask us to restart this.
$11.
It was multiple people. It wasn't just one person that gave us $11. It was hundreds of people listening to our podcast.
We really appreciate each and every one of you 9 listeners. We really love it. Thanks for freaking coming in and listening. Actually, you know what? The numbers for the show actually went up after we stopped making. Isn't that a shocker?
Well, yeah. Just took a little time for people to find us.
Yeah. They're like, okay, we heard enough. We're out. Not enough to where we made $11, bitches. But
no, we're rich.
Speaking of bitches, I got a bitch session to start this show.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
All right, so as I've said in past shows, my brother sometimes is a huge pain in the ass, and he sends me these fucking political texts. Just to bring all y'all up to speed, since it's been 8 months, my brother is an extreme left liberal, and I'm like a middle of the road guy. I just go with what makes sense, but most of the time he's pretty smart. I always say he's the dumbest smart person I know, and but the reality is he keeps sending me these texts, these political texts, dude. And it drives me up a fucking wall because I don't really care. You know what I mean? I really don't give a shit. I'm like, I could care less if Trump jumps off of a fucking building or Joe Biden eats an ice cream cone upside down, with a young child. I don't care. It doesn't, I don't give a shit. But he sends me these moronic texts of like false information. And so I've gotten a lot smarter since hanging out with you. And so I literally opened up ChatGPT, opened up Claude, and I'm like, hey, is this shit true? Because I always cross-reference the AIs just in case one's an idiot and the other one isn't, And they both said the same shit. Well, this isn't necessarily true because that wasn't this. So I send him back exactly, copy, paste from ChatGPT in there because I'm like so over it. And he's like, well, he starts going off like, the excuse trail. And then he's like, it says
Tell me exactly what he said. Like, what was his counter?
Here it was.
Yeah.
Right,
let's not talk. Guys. Let's not talk in like abstracts. Let's be concrete so we can all be
here it is.
Judgmental.
So here it is. You ready? Here's the text. RFK Jr. just released a report calling for an immediate 25.2% cut to Social Security benefits to bring the program, in quotes, back to the balance. And then he puts, that's $700 cut from a $2,800 check. Tell me again how Republicans care about us, ? So I said, hey, ChatGPT, Claude, is this true? And then they said, the text you received is misleading. They said, here's the key distinction. And it goes on to say the 2026 Social Security Trustees Report states that if Congress does nothing and the trust funds become depleted, Social Security would be able to pay about 75% of scheduled benefits, right? One calculation in the report says that restoring long-term balance through benefit reductions alone would require a reduction of roughly 25.2%. That is not the same thing as JFK Jr. proposing an immediate 25.2 cut. RFJK signed the report in his role as a trustee, along with other government officials. The report presents actual options and projections. It's not a legislative proposal to cut benefits tomorrow. So the statement is not accurate as written. A more accurate version would have been. And then it's this is long, guy. I mean, this is like long-winded. Do you want me to read the whole thing? But I mean, I will.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It just says the 2026 Social Security Trustees Report says that if policymakers choose to restore long-term solvency solely through benefit reductions, a reduction of about 25.2% would be required. And then whether Republicans or Democrats would support the benefit cuts, tax increases, raising the retirement age, or a combination of those, is a separate political debate. Historically, proposals to fix Social Security have included increasing payroll taxes, which we know about, raising or eliminating the wage gap, which we know about, raising the retirement age, which I definitely know about because since I've been here, it's went up 2 years, I think from 65 to 67 now, right? Because that's how they figure. They just keep us on the wrap for taking longer because we'll die quicker. Modifying benefits for higher income retirees, across the board benefit reductions, and or combinations of all the above. So if someone texts you that claim, the fact check answer is no, JFK did not announce an immediate 25.2 cut to Social Security benefits. The number comes from the solvency calculation in the trustees report, not a proposal to cut everyone's checks right now. And it said that action hasn't even been it hasn't been enacted today. And then I wrote, I always fact check through AI now, bro. Just saying. So I don't know what you mean. And then he goes, it's in the Project 2025. Unless the MAGA lose control of Congress, it's as good as done. So I wrote, okay. I said, first, this is what I say, man. And then he says, it raises the taxes on billionaires raise the taxes on billionaires to 1955 levels and all is solved. Eisenhower Republican tax plan. So I'm just sitting there going like this, dude, seriously, man. I'm like going, bro, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, why are you like losing sleep over this stupid shit? And then I said, just to follow up, I said, hey, someone text me this, right? I said, it's Project 2025 unless Magma loses Congress. And it says, a fact-based response would be, this is from AI, the 25.2 number comes from Social Security solvency protections, not a Project 25 proposal. In 2025 project does not contain a plan for an immediate 25.2 Social Security benefit cut. Whether future reforms happen depends on the Congress and the president, and there are many possible ways lawmakers could address Social Security's funding gap, but it's not in Project 2025. So that it said, in other words, the claim mixes real Social Security funding problem with a claim about 2025 that fact checkers have generally found to be inaccurate.
So did you send that to him too?
Yep, sure shit did. Zero. Nothing. No response. Because you know what? My biggest problem with, and I love my family. Don't get me wrong, man. I'm not trying to be a family hater here. I love my family, but they fucking drive me nuts because they send so much misinformation. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, you know what? I'm fact checking y'all assholes. And here it is. Bam. Just in writing. This is not true. It's misleading. It's like, all you have to do is just type it in or copy and paste what you read. Like, I don't even read and believe half the shit I see online anymore because it's so misleading and so put together to benefit one side or the other. And all it is to divide us even more.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, 100%. Just fact check this shit and just shoot it down, guys. And then don't repost the garbage. I mean, like, yeah, dude, I really wanted to put my fist through the fucking wall. I was like, dude, stop sending me this shit is what I really wanted to reply with. Because I don't give a fuck. Yeah, no. Because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a F. You know what I mean? That's what I really want to say.
Yeah. I'm personally investing so that way I don't have to rely on Social Security because I am not a leech.
Yeah, on the system.
I
mean, that's why. I mean, listen. I mean, at the end of the day,
that's my biggest problem with it. I was watching this. It was like either Surrounded or it was Middle Ground on YouTube, and I got really frustrated because one of the guys that was complaining, he was like talking about, I think people that have extra houses should give their houses to people that don't have houses. And it's all fun and games until someone comes after your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? Like, it's okay to take other people's stuff and redistribute it. But when you start going after their stuff, like, listen, if you want to feed the homeless, go out and feed the homeless. Well, it's not my responsibility to feed the homeless. Like, that's not my job. Like, that should be somebody else's job. They want to push it off on somebody else. So it's super frustrating. And let's face it, if the stuff would have worked in the 1950s, we'd probably still be doing it, but it didn't work. That's why it got changed.
Bingo. And if you really look at Social Security, it was never developed as a personal retirement plan when it came out. It really wasn't. It was created in 1935, during the Great Depression. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
now,
it was supplemental.
Correct. It was just basically funded to help seniors during that time, so they weren't completely broke. And then what did we do?
Yeah.
We blew it into a fucking retirement system, and then or so we think. You know what I mean? But the reality is, if you're relying on that check every month, you're going to be fucked. You know what I mean? In the long game, because they're going to keep borrowing from it, and then they're going to keep extending that age gap. So I guarantee you, by the time I'm 67, it'll be 69 years of age or 70. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
At the rate that we're borrowing money.
The problem that I always see with, any type of socialistic program is that it creates people that are dependent.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about this in the men's group that I'm in. One of the guys, he owns and operates a shelter for homeless people.
Okay.
That's his business. He gets at odds with the county because the county gets more money from the government for the more food that it hands out to people. So his goal is to build, his whole foundation is to move people to be self-sufficient and not reliant on the program, which upsets this governmental board for this county because they get compensated directly on how much free food they give out from the government. The more free food they give out, the more money they get. So by him helping people get off of the system, it actually hurts the county in funding because the system's screwed up. It's built to create dependencies, like the assisted, like the assisted housing. I can't remember the name of the top of it off my head, but basically, that was never designed to be permanent. Like that's the problem. People get in it and they become reliant on it and it becomes permanent. That should be a stopgap to help people get back on their feet. It shouldn't be a permanent thing where they're living off welfare forever when they're able-bodied individuals.
Well, let's face it. When you feed laziness, it stays laziness.
You get more laziness. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just stays there. And then what happens is, and I hate to say it, when you have offspring and things like that, you teach them how to play that system. And then that's what they feel is normal in most cases. Now, there are some cases where people come out of poverty and they end up, making it big and making a name for themselves and doing things. But I'm just saying, and then that's why I have a problem when people go have issues with the revamping of food stamps, what you can use it for. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many times you've been in line, man. And I mean, I get it. Everybody needs to, live, but you really just need good food. You know what I mean? You need your proteins, your carbs, and that's what it's meant for, is to feed your family, not to give you a, case of Bud Light. You know what I mean? Or and I don't even know if I could be speaking out of cheek and tongue here with that.
You could never get alcohol on it. The way people get around that, because I used to work at the grocery store back when I was younger, is they would just sell their food stamps. They would literally just sell their food stamps for 50 cents on the dollar, go buy their beer, and they didn't care because that's what they wanted. The problem is that people were buying so much junk food and not quality food that it wasn't providing nourishment. And that's not what it's there for, in my opinion. It should be, buy quality foods. And then if you want the treats and the snacks, work for those treats and snacks.
It's no different than how you live in your current household. I mean, you don't buy certain things because you don't have the funds. You know what I mean? In some cases, it's like, man, I really can't afford to get that this time around. So I'm gonna have to wait this out because I need to have, 4 pounds of, 96% ground beef. I might be like, okay, I'm gonna push that off, even though that's a treat for me. I can't afford to get it this time around. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that live that way too as well, but it's just prioritizing what's important. And I don't know, man. I just feel like sometimes that the system is just makes people lazy when they get on it. I mean, trust me, I have been completely broke before in my early 20s starting out, and I had to rely on even food banks to get food, to feed, things like that. I had to rely on family. I mean, because we had 2 incomes and we were very low income people at that. I never was on welfare, knock on wood, but I can just say, you either find a way to climb out of it or you don't, and then you, like you said, you get lazy, you play on the system forever because it's the easy route. So,
yeah, I mean, well, it keeps you an indentured servant to the government. I mean, even that's basically what it is. They're conditioning you to not want to do better, in my opinion. they're giving you astigmatism, and then they're making you stay in that as opposed to helping people do better, be better.
Let me
Teach
ask you
people.
let me change gears on you for a minute. And going back to what we were talking about earlier about my brother and shit before we started down the political road. But getting back, let me back up and go back to that. Did you ever feel like the older you get, the more you realize, even though you don't want to, there's some similarities of how you're becoming your parents?
Well, yeah, I think everybody goes through that. I mean, the thing is that when you're young and you have youth behind you, you have all these ideals and you have all this uneducated passion that you just put out into the world. You think you can change things, and then what happens is as you're working through life and you start to realize, holy crap, this is a lot of effort. I put a lot of work, a lot of effort into the things I have, into the things I did. So if I'm putting this much work into it, is it really fair that someone else gets to come along and have the exact same things I do without any of the work or the effort?
Mm-hmm.
No, you start to realize, I think what happens is everybody starts off liberal when they're young and they move more conservative as they get older because they have more to lose and they've seen more and they've worked more and they've personally experienced it. I'm sure everybody can relate that they've given people money to try to help them and the person squanders it and they come back and just ask for more money. And then they get upset with you when you can't give it, when you don't have
example. Hey, I'll add into what you just said right there.
Yeah.
I literally had a young man, I won't mention his name, reach out to me on Facebook not too long ago. Remember I had that conversation with you and said, hey, can I borrow $100? Right? Or else I can't pay my rent. So of course I was like, you know what, man, I'm going to transfer this guy the money. Fuck it. I had it. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to help this dude out. Transfer $100. What did he do? 3 months later, came back and asked me the same question.
Right.
Hey, can I get $100? Come to find out he was asking everybody for money. You know what I mean? And I mean, I'm not, hey, to me, fucking smart guy. I mean, if everybody was going to give you $100, I was a sucker. I gave it to you because I believed your cry story. I mean, and it's somebody I know. So I went like this, mother effer. I was like, that bitch probably just hit up 10 people, got $1,000, paid his freaking rent and maybe went out and did some shit with the extra. But when you come back and ask me again without paying me back, I kind of got like you. It's like when you loan money to people, you kind of just write it off. Because, if you get paid back, great. But I'm not going to get myself all pissed off and bent out of shape over $100.
Yeah, that helps nobody. I mean, I get that way too. I guess when I don't get upset because of the money. Like I said, if I loan money, I know there's a good probability I'm not going to get it back.
Right.
So I don't ever put myself in a situation to where I need this money.
Right.
Where it'll make or break me. But what bothers me is if I loan money or let someone borrow money and they don't put any effort to like pay me back. And they're just going out and they're doing the same things that they were doing that got them in the financial trouble, that caused them to be where they're at. And they don't make a priority. They don't pay you back. So that bothers me when people do that. I just feel like it's part of your integrity.
Yeah, and it's like when you see people on Instagram or Facebook, and they're the people that borrow the money, and then you see them going out on like a cruise, or they're going out of town to like Vegas, and they're out there gambling, or they're in New York looking at the Statue of Liberty, or they're wherever they're at. Nothing infuriates me more inside when I'm going, these motherfuckers owe me money, and then they're over here, going out partying like it's 1999, the old Prince song, and I'm going, what the fuck, guys? I would never, like, if I owed you, like, even like $500, you know what I mean? Let's just say $500, small amount, right? Let's say I owed you $500.
That's a lot of money to some people.
Yeah, true. No, I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just simply saying if I owed you $500 and then I said, hey man, I'm going to haul ass out to Seattle and go to the Space Needle and take a cruise to Alaska, and you saw me taking that cruise versus paying you at least something back, like if I said, hey Mike, hey man, I know I owe you the $500, but I really want to go on this cruise and everything. Can I pay you like $100 now and then just pay the rest of it later down the road? You'd probably go, no problem, dude, because I reached out to you as a courtesy. You know what I mean? Saying, and then, but if you had a problem with it, going, no, man, I really need you to pay me back the whole money, then I would have to like bite the bullet and pay you back. I just don't understand people's logic when they look. How in the hell can you look at yourself in the mirror knowing you owe somebody money like that, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna go out and do this other shit.
I think it would have to be. I don't know if I agree with you on that. For me, like I wouldn't expect you to do that. Like call.
Why?
You don't have to. You're an adult. You don't have to call me and ask for permission.
It's not what I meant.
I'm
just saying if
I would call and say, listen, I have this opportunity to do this trip. It's a once in a lifetime experience. I know I owe you the $500. I'm good for it. As soon as I get this out, then we'll take care of it. That's fine.
But what's different between that one and then saying the other way?
Well, I just don't feel like you should. I don't, because one way it made me feel like you're calling me, asking me for permission. And I'm like, no, you can't go. You owe me $500. Like that's going to ruin a friendship. That's going to ruin a relationship with somebody. I think, the best thing, one of the guys in my group, Chase, he had said that he does a contract with people, family, friends, anybody that has clear outlines. It's got an origination fee. So that way he gets paid up front because he's losing money by giving you money. And he wants to at least break even. Like he doesn't want you to cost him money. Like he doesn't want him, if I give you $500 today and you wait to pay me back 2 years, I've lost all that interest. I've lost all that opportunity. I could use that $500 for something else. And it's nice because it changes it from emotional to transactional. It treats it like a bank. It treats it like a transaction, which then has clear outlines. Because I think one of the bad things I've done in this circumstance is I say, pay me back when you can pay me back. Because I don't want to put a deadline on people. Like I don't want to have, I'm trying to alleviate stress, not add stress. But I think in the process, what happens is that gives the person carte blanche to be like, oh, I forgot to pay him back. So I don't know. So part of it's on me on that, but it's just, I'm wired. I feel like I'm wired differently. Because like if I owe someone a debt, I want to pay that debt.
That's how I feel. I mean, I borrowed money from you.
I don't want that debt. I don't want that debt to linger. Pretty good.
You know what I'm saying?
We're pretty good on it.
Yeah, it was pretty good on it.
Now, tools and
equipment.
Only took
2 years. Did you hear me? Only took 2 years.
Yeah. Now, tools and equipment, don't let Brand something.
Don't let me jack shit.
Because that shit will become his property. He'd be like, oh, I still have that? 4 years later.
Oh, I am the worst with borrowing tools and things like that for people, man. I'll own it. I'll own this fucking insult. Go ahead.
You get it back, and underneath it has on the bottom it has in Sharpie written Brad because he's already taken ownership. Scratches your name out
Toy Story
on it.
with Woody. It says
instead of saying Andy on the bottom, it says Brad. It says Brad.
This is my toy, Michael. Look,
yeah,
you just scratched it out and wrote your name over it.
It's like I instantly claim this.
Yeah, or I buy one of those like self tapes that go over your name. You peel it off and say Mike's name. No, I am really bad at returning tools. I'll own that shit. If you loan me like a drill or a screwdriver, it's going to be sitting on my freaking workbench for like a year unless you come get it. And I've really tried to get better at returning shit like that when I borrow those from people, because ever since you like called me out on that shit, I was like, okay, I got to really make a valiant effort to fix that shit.
Another pet peeve of mine is if you borrow something, return it in at least as good a condition as you borrowed it. Like if you borrow my car and it has a half a tank of gas, bring it back with a half a tank of gas.
Right.
If you put stuff in it and it puts dirt in it, like sand or whatever, like you had to move,
clean it out,
vacuum it out, clean it out, bring it back to me at least in the same condition that I loaned it to you in.
Agreed.
If I let you borrow a tool or something like that, don't bring it back dirty. Don't bring it back beat up, or broken. That's a huge pet peeve of mine. It's like, oh, hey, thanks for letting me borrow this. I treat it like shit because it's not mine. And
comes back with like dents all in it and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I've had that problem when I've loaned people shit too, man, where they brought it back jacked up. And I'm like, come on, man. Really, dude? You know what I mean? You couldn't like put oil on that chainsaw, or something. Now the chainsaw is like bone dry. You cut it like that. You just wore that bit down like crazy. Those teeth down on that chainsaw by that oil not cooling it, It's like, come on.
And you really want I think as you get older, like you start appreciating your stuff more, and you appreciate stuff that you work for hard more than stuff that's given to you.
Agree.
So I think that's the other problem. Like the more that you give something to somebody, the less they appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't work for it. They didn't put the effort in. They didn't put the the output. And that's what my biggest fear is that, if we create a society where we're just giving stuff to everybody, then what's gonna be the motivation for other people to excel or to be better? Like, everybody gives these billionaires like a hard time, but look how many jobs like Jeff Bezos has created with Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
How he's impacted our life and our culture. If there was no incentive to do that, we wouldn't have it.
Well, I agree. I agree with you 100%. I hate when people start like talking mad shit about that kind of stuff. And I'm going, dude, that guy has created so many opportunities for people, regardless if you agree with him personally or whatever. Look what he's done.
I'm not talking about the individual. I'm just talking about the businesses that he's created, because like, right. That's my biggest thing. It's like, I don't really, that's where I think that we've gone wrong with actors and actresses, is that we've taken them out of their roles and given them like, public forum. Like, I don't care what Billie Eilish thinks, her thought process. If she's a talented musician, that's her skill set. It doesn't mean she's a talented politician.
I got to ask who that is.
She's the one that said on the, I think it was the Grammys.
What is she saying? Like, what is she saying? I don't even know who the hell that is. I really don't. I'm not like,
you'll have to look it up. I'm not big. The only thing I know is that she bought a mansion in California that was on Indian tribal land, and she said something about
what's her last name?
The Eilish. Yeah, she'd mentioned. Yeah, she'd made a comment at the Grammys about you can't kick people off land that you don't own. So the tribal people were like, you can't build houses on property you don't own. They wanted her to give her like $7.2 million mansion back, and then of course she went dark.
Yeah, I have no idea who the hell she is. I'd have to hear her music. I mean,
you would know her songs.
She's 24 years old, so I mean, hell, there's a good chance I don't know because I'm old as shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. I don't keep up with the current trends of musicians anymore like I used to.
Yeah, she made a comment that it riled people up. She was going after Elon Musk pretty heavy. Oh, she said on the 68th annual Grammy, her exact words were, "No one is illegal on stolen land," which caused the Tatunga people to give her massive criticism and ask her to give their land back to them that her high value property was on, that her mansion was on. So basically it like blew up in her face because, she's living on stolen land.
Yeah.
But it's okay because it's her house. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. That's why you just gotta shut the hell up.
And that's the stuff that bothers me. It's like, you see people like, and I'm just going to harp on like Selena Gomez for a second. Like, she got on there and she did a video where she was crying about what was happening to the people when the deportation. And I understand the plight, but that's someone that has massive amounts of financial resources. But yet I see very little of that directed towards something that she says is close and near and dear to her heart, to my knowledge. Like, there's no outreach. It's not like, hey, okay, I'm going to personally sponsor these 1,000 people because I can. And it's not even going to make a big dent into my estate and make a change. I'm just going to get on there and complain about it and want somebody else to fix it. And that's what bothers me. It's like, put your mouth, your money where your mouth is. Like, if you're going to complain about it, do it. Like, if you're going to complain about an immigrant's not having places to stay, open up your house.
Right.
Oh, I can't. That's too much for me. It should be. The problem I have with these people, the biggest problem I have is they're like, it has to be someone else's problem. Like, someone else has to fix it. Like, I don't like it. I don't want to do anything about it, but I want someone else to fix it so I can feel better about myself. And that's like the most hypocritical thing ever, like,
oh, without a doubt,
like you talk to people that are like anti-abortion, and I've done this personally. So this is just my experience, but you say, hey, why don't you adopt? Oh, well, I'm not in a place. I don't want to. So basically you don't want to take care of the child. You don't want to take care of the child, But
if it infringes on my normal everyday what I do, then no, I don't want to take care of it.
I don't want
that's
any
what
part
it really
of it, but I want someone else to take care of it.
Correct.
And that to me is just hypocritical, and it bothers me. You know, like it bothers me to no end. So, and I'm not conservative or liberal. I'm registered independent. I've voted for Barack. I voted for Trump.
Ditto.
You know, I vote. You know, I vote with the person and the policies that I feel are best for me and society. I don't go down political lines. You know, I don't agree with every single thing that Trump does. I just felt that at the last election that he was a better choice because I didn't like the direction that the country was moving in. And I don't necessarily like the direction that we're moving in now either. Like I'm going to be pretty happy when this Trump era comes to an end because he's not going to be able to run for another election
term. Correct.
Another term, you know? So yeah, he'll still have some political influence, but that will be over.
That'll bleed out over time. Couple of terms,
you know, and I would love to have a president that is more moderate and listens to the best idea, you know, not just the rhetoric, you know, and stop pandering to like the lowest common denominator, you know, like we need to have, I mean, like Barack Obama, you know, he he deported. Yeah. You know,
here we go.
he deported more people than the Trump administration did in his beginning, you know, but nobody complained about it at that time.
No, because there was hope. I'm just joking.
Yeah. You know, yeah. Because it was like hope, but you know, I mean, I feel
like just politicians in general, man, are just really good used car salesmen for the most part these days. I hate to say it and really like go down that road, but I feel like they just say what they need to say to get the deal, you know? So
yeah, and it's pay to play. You know, that's the problem. Like you can't, you're not necessarily electing the best person. You are, you're picking the person that has the most money.
Yeah, without a doubt.
That can run the best smear campaign, because I don't know, you know, the whole thing with the 2020, what was it? The 2026 election? Was that when it had election? I don't fucking, was it 2024? I don't even know now. 2026? Yeah. Yeah. Cause no, when was the election? 24? Yeah. 24. Damn. My brain is fried. The problem with, you know, it wasn't about like, what do I do? What's my policies? What am I working on? It's like smearing the other person. You know, it's like, you don't want them because they're this or that and this. And I'm like, stop talking about the other person and tell me about you.
Right.
You know?
Agree. Well,
anyways, heavy first episode.
That's moment. Well, that's our first episode back, guys. You know, sorry we bled over. And we just got on that subject, and you know, hey, this is what we do, man. So anyway, we will be back. With you know, the whole irony of this, the whole thing is we are no longer going to be the daily BM. We will be the weekly BM, but we were still going to say we're the daily BM. But yeah, probably monthly. So if you're lucky, if in 4 more weeks we get another episode.
Could be the annual BM.
Yeah, you know, hey,
we're topping the charts, baby.
All I can think of Eric's like going, God damn it, guys, I'm freaking gone, and here you guys assholes are just doing once a year. What the hell? But
all I'm thinking is Eric going dicks and pussies. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah,
that's what he was known. That's what he brought to the table.
Oh yeah, the famous England interview on a radio station. Oh yeah, that comes to my mind after being preached to for weeks. Jesus. All right, guys. Well, listen. Don't forget. Don't head over to our socials because we're hardly on it. Just so you know. I mean, but you know, like I said, if you want to send us free coupons, you know, listen to more ads, and you know, make us another $11 this month, that'd be great. But other than that, Mikey, got anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, we're just doing this because we have fun at it. We're not trying to be famous or anything. Like, we don't really care what you guys think.
Speak for yourself, bitch. No, I'm just joking. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you guys. We'll catch you guys either next week or next month or biannually or whatever, like Mike said. So we'll see you guys on the flip side.
We'll see you when we see you. Deuces.
Deuces.
Deuces.